So I'm joined here by Mr. Ambassador Rajiv Sikri, and his new book, Strategic Conundrums, Reshaping Foreign Policy, was launched today by S. Jaishankar, the Foreign Minister of India. So thanks for and best wishes for your new book. First of all, I wanted to ask you about that. Dr. Jaishankar was kind of reviewing your book, picking up on the points about it. Why do you call the neighborhood as conundrums?
Oh, I think that there are no easy choices in our neighborhood. And I've said that all our neighbors, which emerged as our neighbors only after the partition of India and India became independent. Before independence, we had Persia as a neighbor, we had Myanmar as a neighbor, we had Tibet as a neighbor. Now we've got new neighbors, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Maldives. All these were part of a larger thing. So there is an identity crisis, I think, in these countries where they cannot get away from their relationship with India, their historical, cultural and other roots, and at the same time their desire, understandable, to forge their new identity as nation states. So this creates a little problem there, and it expresses itself often as anti-Indianism, because anything which goes wrong, India is to blame. Now, how do we tackle it? That is a conundrum, and it's not easy, but I've suggested some aspects what we can do.
Going by your experience, do you think that India is in any position to kind of strike or kind of drive any peace policy anyway?
No. I don't think we should aim for that. The only people who can do it are the Americans. They have influence over Israel. I don't think that India has any ability to influence the conflict. We are affected by it, but I don't think.
And do you think the same goes when it comes to Russia, Ukraine as well?
Yeah, I don't think the Prime Minister went there to try and mediate. But I think he represented a point of view which India shares with a lot of the global South countries, that it is a dangerous conflict which could become a global conflict. There is a nuclear overhang. Nuclear power plants have been bombed. There's talk of possible use of nuclear weapons. We used to get a lot of lectures on Kashmir as a nuclear flashpoint. I mean, Ukraine is a nuclear flashpoint. So I think to the extent that the concerns of the world, certainly the global South, are reflected to both parties, is something which is important, which I am sure that Prime Minister conveyed to both President Putin and President Zelensky.
And also, I just wanted to ask one thing, sir, that how do you see the change or a shift in foreign policy since you have served in the pre-Modi era as well, before 2014?
I think that Prime Minister Modi has taken a strategic view of foreign policy. He has energized relationships with a lot of countries, visited many countries. There's the neighborhood first policy. He's visited countries in Africa, in Latin America. We've got interaction with various groups. Because if you want to be a global player, you have to interact with everyone. So today India is involved in so many mechanisms, bilateral, trilateral, quadrilateral, multilateral, which it wasn't there earlier. I mean, take an example. He's visited UAE, I think 5 or 6 times. And his visit came after 34 years, the Prime Minister's visit to UAE. Look at the Saudi relationship. Huge. So all these things, the way he has improved the relationship with the United States, people thought when he came to power, they denied him a visa for 10 years. Forget about it. A relationship with America is very important, so I'm going to develop it. Similarly, with Russia, it's very important, reinforce it. With China, well, we started off a hopeful note, but after Galwan, said, okay, it's not there. With Pakistan, again, he tried, various initiatives he took, inviting Nawaz Sharif, he went to Lahore. But then after the attacks on Pulwama and so forth, Balakot, etc., then he said, there's no point in engaging with them if they're not going to cooperate on terror. So it's a little more hard-nosed now.
So last question, you have seen developments in Bangladesh, that how it has the coup against Sheikh Hasina, and then we also heard Dr. Jaishankar while sharing about your book, he was talking about that neighborhood will always have these kind of challenges. Can you just tell us that what do you think will be a major challenge in the coming years as far as foreign policy of India is concerned?
No, the neighborhood obviously is number one. How do we manage our neighborhood? Because I believe that India can grow much faster if we take our neighbors along with us. But if we keep having trouble in our neighborhood, then our attention gets diverted to neighborhood, and also our resources get diverted. Our security problems increase if there is terrorism, if there is illegal migration, if there are other security issues, then it does put constraints on us.
So Dr. Sikri says that an unstable neighborhood is not beneficial for any country, because once your neighborhood is unstable, or if there is a crisis developing there, then your energy, your focus all gets deviated, and it also puts constraint on our resources. In Delhi with camera person Janara and Mohammad Ghazali for NDTV.